Ladies and gentlemen, it is a new Murder Mike, motherfuckers. Y'all with me?
Oh yeah, we're here.
Hell yeah.
Always.
Alright, so for one, I'm pleased to tell you, and all of our fans, all like 12 of them, that
12 loyal motherfucker.
hell yeah, right? That we have new equipment this week. So, been working really hard trying to figure shit out, and we have new sample players, new microphones, new mixers, new call interface, and Walt's on the other end of the call interface. What's up, Walt?
You know, man, just doing it as always.
Hell yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Monster Minute, man.
Which one this week?
You pick. Enlighten us.
Oh man, you want to talk about the one about the traffic twats? Okay, we could talk about people and their insane inability to drive across America. I've been traveling for the past, I don't know, off and on for the last couple of years to different states and different situations.
Yeah.
And it just seems like everybody's lost their fucking minds. Everybody's paying attention to everything but keeping their 2,000 to 4,000 pound gas-fueled weapon in their own lane. Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking transport vehicle that they're trying to kill each other with, and they wonder why there's little white crosses on the side of the road everywhere.
Yeah, right.
Because fucking Brendan can't drive.
Brendan. Damn, well, that kind of coincides, I guess, just a little bit with one of our topics for tonight. It goes to parenting. I guess, you know, I don't know about y'all, but my parents taught me how to drive.
Mine too. Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of goes back to like standards and things that I guess we were held to as a little bit of the, not the older generation, but we're a lot older than the younger generation nowadays. So.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely at a elevated status of what I experienced growing up, as opposed to the children coming up and, you know, quote unquote, getting their license and reaching those milestones in life. I'm an entire generation and a half ahead of that. Yeah. So I see the world in a totally different light than they do nowadays.
Well, I mean, you actually have a kid that's already got their license, right? Like, or just about?
I have a grown person that I am responsible for fathering. Yes, he is almost 20 years old. Next year, just over a year, he'll be able to totally make bad decisions with alcohol and things like that legally.
Oh man!
You know? So good luck to him.
Hopefully, you raised him right.
I tried, man. I did a lot of it on my own early on, and then I had a good support system, and he's a really good kid. And I don't think I'm gonna have that phone call from him that, you know,
come pick me up from jail.
Yeah, I'm lucky I didn't have to make that phone call to my parents, but, you know, it is what it is. He's a responsible kid, grown man, whatever you want to call him at this point.
Yeah.
I don't consider people grown till they're like 25, 26 nowadays.
That's understandable.
You know, just the way kids are raised, they even at their adulthood stage, they're still making childhood mistakes.
Oh, I definitely made a lot of childhood mistakes, didn't you?
I was a perfect child.
I don't believe that for shit. I don't believe that for shit.
I have a little halo right here. I wish I could see it.
No, I doubt that. I very seriously doubt that. Well, I mean, you know, we have a 13-year-old is our oldest, and man,
I'm sorry.
Oh man. She's a good kid. She really is. She's got a good heart on her, but man, we have yeah. Ugh.
It's a matter of making the heart and the brain talk to each other.
I'm speechless for like the next, 5 years.
She's mean, Walt. She's mean.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of head shaking going on, and you got to read between the lines, especially if it's a girl.
Oh yeah.
That you gotta understand that only 30% of what she says is the fucking truth because she doesn't want to be told no to what she's about to ask.
She doesn't want to get in trouble about what she's about to ask.
Yeah, you have to decipher that shit like a fucking serial killer, post-it note.
Yeah.
Just,
well, see, like one of the reasons that I wanted to bring up the parenting thing, right? The actual topic, when I had it wrote down in my show notes before our power glitched and all of my links and shit got wiped off my computer desktop, which happened like 40 minutes ago. No, there was, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but sometime this past week, there was a family brawl in Disneyland.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
That one guy was beating bitches left and right.
Just smacking them down, boy. Just smacking them down. God damn.
Yeah, like he had total authority to do so. I mean, he was punching bitches like they was grown men in an MMA fight. I mean, he was going for the kill shot. That was insane. I saw that. And
Nobody bothered to stop him until the last lady was down on the ground. He had done punched like 4 bitches. I don't know.
Well, that's our society. We have grown into a society of let me get my phone and record this, but I'm not gonna step in and help someone in need.
Yeah.
You've got a nation full of bystanders.
Exactly. I mean, oh man, and once again, it goes back to parenting. It goes back to, were you raised to be a piece of shit?
And not get involved.
Yeah, like, do you have that fight or flight reflex? Are you gonna be the hero of the day? Are you gonna go in and do what needs to be done? Whether it's go get a job and support that baby mama that you didn't plan on, or are you gonna help somebody that's getting their ass beat at Disneyland? You know what I mean? It's that fight or flight reflex. It's just, I don't know. Which, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that was a big ass dude, and he was beating the shit out of them girls.
Something similar. I work for a major chain of grocery stores, and one of our sister stores right up the road from here. There was 2 ladies in the front, and one lady back in the day had called DSS for not taking care of her kids, and they went into fighting right there at the register, and people were recording it. Well, in the background, she had a newborn infant in the grocery cart behind her that she pushed off, and the guy that was recording it was like, "Hey, your baby's crying. Aren't you going to get that kid? Aren't you going to?" But nobody ever dropped their phones and helped these.
Nobody grabbed the kid. Nobody, put the kid to safety. Yeah, it's just like, oh, there's this baby in the shopping cart.
And posted it to Facebook, and shortly after that, the other lady's grocery cart that was right beside the baby gets knocked over and goes flying.
Well, I mean, you could hear him in the video say, "You see, you got what you wanted. You got exactly what you wanted."
Yeah.
So there was an antagonistic situation going on verbally that led to the physical confrontation. But it's also nice to note that they all denied anything happening until the video surfaced.
Yeah, and then I think one of the bigger lady had spit in the dude's face to begin with, like that. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that they're for him to go on a rampage and beat the shit out of like 4 people. I think there had to have been some more deep-seated earlier on fighting or arguing, probably at the hotel, or they just had a shitty marriage.
That was a decade of frustration busted at Disneyland.
Yeah, there was something more deep-seated than just she got mad and spit in his face for him to go on like a fucking bull rampage like that. So
yeah, he could have walked away at any time, and he kept coming back to it. But it also, back to the parenting point of view of it, at what point do you teach your children right or wrong nowadays? When do you teach a child that it's better to walk away from something like that than to engage it? Because engaging those situations as you grow up and you are trying to navigate whether or not you can, take hold of your anger or not. I mean, you're going to end up in prison for many, many things if all you think to do is throw them hands.
Yeah.
You're gonna wind up in prison at some point in your life.
I think that's a big way that our society has changed too, since we were kids, and nowadays it's like, you know, back in the day you could get into a fight. Hell, you could get into a big ass fight at school and never see a courtroom. You get suspended, you get expelled or something. Now, I mean, they're pressing felony assault charges on, you know, 5th graders and shit. You know, so I mean, times have definitely changed with the way they handle these things to begin with.
Well, that goes to a larger problem, which is the privatization and the prison for profit situation that we got going on in this country.
Yeah.
So they won't, once you're in the system and once you're in paperwork and you're in the rotation, it is so much harder to get out of it because it only makes the people who own the prison more money to find ways to keep you there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. You could kick a dog because it bit you on the leg, but the right person see you, and the next thing you know, you're up on animal cruelty charges. Doesn't matter. That little shithead Chihuahua bit your fucking leg. Yeah. You're going to jail, and the Chihuahua's getting a fucking milk ball.
Oh man. I mean, yeah, I'm you know, I've never done serious time, but you know, I've definitely been locked up. And I can definitely say, like, once you're kind of in that loop, you know, what they do is they slap you on the wrist and say, okay, well, we'll just give you a couple of years of probation, you know, or even just a year of probation. And then every little tiny thing that you do gets reported to the probation officer. Then you're right back in court, and then your probation gets extended, or then you do 30 days, and then you're still on probation. And it takes forever to get away from that situation, you know.
It's all a money-making scheme at that point.
Yeah, because, like, I can honestly say it's a money-making scam because, like, at one point, I had 2 years of probation left after doing a year. And then, what was it? The judge asked me if, you know, why I hadn't been paying my restitution. And I told him, I said, it's expensive. I have bills. I have all this other shit going on. You know, I'm doing the best I can. The judge looks at me and says, I tell you what, you owe $800 in restitution. Bring me $500 tomorrow. So I made it happen. Brought him $500 the next day. They dismissed my entire probation. Killed 2 years of probation for $500.
Yeah, it's all about it's this country is in such a deficit that they try to find it's pretty much legal extortion at that point.
Yeah,
they get you in some kind of way involved in the system, the judicial system, and it's almost impossible for your average struggling American to find their way out of it because everybody has their vices and everybody has, if you end up in the system, you weren't leading a choir boy lifestyle to begin with.
No.
You know? So, I mean, but it all goes back to how people are raised. People are raised not to respect authority figures anymore. They're only raised to respect the person directly in charge of them.
Yeah.
Our society has completely went away from it takes a village to raise a child to the point of that's my child, you can't say anything to them, they're a precious little angel no matter what the fuck they do.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that has authority over them and you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And
the partition medal participation medal mindset.
Yeah, it's very strong in the society.
Oh, and the kids know it too. The kids know it. Oh, you can't tell me what to do. You ain't my mama. You ain't my daddy. Yeah.
Man, when I was a kid 30, 35 years ago, if I did something fucked up, I got beat by every grown up on the way home.
And then got beat again when you got home.
Hell
Exactly. And then I had to wait a week since my father was an over the road truck driver. I had to wait a week for him to get home, and I got that last beating from him. So
Damn.
it was, yeah, son. I'm telling you, it was prolonged agony. I had to sit and think about what all the beatings I'd already received, all the fucked up shit, and then it was like, it was like a POW waiting to be tortured some more.
Damn. Shit.
He would come home and you know, he had already heard through, and this is gonna blow some people's mind, but there used to be what is known as long distance packages on hardline phone programs.
Yeah, 10 cents a minute, bitches.
Yeah, my parents had that. So, you know, 20 minutes of that long distance conversation was my mom telling him what fucked up shit I had done that week. And he was like, all right, well, just tell him to sit in his room till I get there. So I would, you know, I'd go to school, I'd eat my dinner, I'd take a bath, and I'd be in my room waiting to get beat again.
Damn.
And I'm sure I deserved it. I'm sure I fucking deserved it.
Oh, I'll bet you were a badass, young.
All those other people had beat me, but there's nobody on this planet I was more afraid of at that time than my father. And nobody's afraid of anybody anymore.
Yeah.
4 and 5 year olds will look at you and say, "Fuck you, bitch! I don't give a fuck," and throw fingers at you.
That's the damn truth. I had to break our 5-year-old. She wasn't quite throwing up the middle finger. She was like crossing her fingers and like throwing them up at you, you know. But like she knew what it meant. Like she knew.
It was the censored middle.
It was a metaphor. She was giving you a.
You know, but she looks at me one day and she's like, whatever, daddy, and throw them fingers up. Boy, I'm about to let her ass up. You know, because like she knew what she was doing. She just had the wrong finger.
Right.
And so, I mean.
Well, it's the glorification of disrespect. Our country has glorified disrespecting every type of authority figure, whether it's a politician, whether it's a police officer, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a parent, no matter what authority figure is in front of you. People in the last 20 years have been taught to totally and undeniably disrespect them if they say something they don't like.
Yeah.
We live in a butt-hurt society, a butt-hurt culture. Everybody that hears anything that they don't like just immediately cringes on the inside. Their feelings get hurt. Their lip pokes out. Their shoulders drop. They look at the floor, and then after that sinks in, they get angry and defiant.
Yeah.
And there's no place for it in our society. If people were taught to be the way I was taught to be, they would be empathetic because you were told what you did wrong, why you were being punished. You know, I still got the beatings, but, you know, which I probably could have lived without. But, you know, at the same time, it taught me all that, you know, raising up taught me that there were consequences to words. There were consequences to action. And children and young adults grow up with no sense of consequence anymore.
No, they don't. I mean, they don't have any give a shit in the world anymore. And not to mention, most parents, I hate to say it, I know on this show we pick on millennials constantly, but nowadays it's like sit down, shut up, watch YouTube, shut up, sit down.
Here's a tablet.
Yeah, here's a tablet, play on my phone. You know, it's
Look at
like
these bright, shiny lights.
It's like anything to get out of being a parent.
Right, but because the parents are completely enamored with the bright, shiny lights of the telephone too.
Yeah.
You know, I wish smartphones were called asses so I could tell people to get their head out of their ass. You know, or I'm gonna tell Samsung to make instead of calling it a smartphone, just call it a smart ass.
Yeah.
Because everybody has their head up their ass nowadays.
Oh yeah.
They're in their phones. They're completely detached from everybody else around them.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Which, I mean, now, you know, I'm not an angel at all. You know, everybody that knows me knows I work construction. Hopefully for a time being. But I work construction, so when I come home, I still have everything that I need to do at the house. I still have to take care of all that. Sorry. But I still have to take care of all that stuff. Plus, I'm constantly on social media, on the recording software, doing podcast updates, doing all this stuff for the show. So, I mean, I do have moments where, I'm like, just go in there and watch TV, I mean, but, there are moments that I'm busy. But at the same time, us as a family, we do try to make time to sit down and like play a game or play with the dogs together, or, just sit there and watch a movie or something.
Right. Well,
I mean, there has to be something. It's all about
engaging. It's all about engaging the people around you. I mean, I grew up, my parents didn't entertain my every want, wish, whim, and desire.
Yeah.
I was told to ride my bike, to go outside and play. God forbid a fucking child be told to go outside and play nowadays, because all the parents are worried about that they're going to get snatched by some pedophile or something like that. Everybody's scared that something's going to happen. Fuck. When I was growing up, all I had to do was be home before the street lights came on.
Exactly.
That was the big thing.
Exactly.
Be home. I don't give a fuck. Come home for lunch. I don't want to see you, especially during summer vacation. Do not come in my house until you're ready to take a bath and go to bed.
You know what my mom used to do, and I'm pretty sure y'all's moms probably did something similar. My mom used to, like, on the weekends when she had to clean the house or do dishes or anything.
Lock you the fuck out.
Exactly. She would put me in the backyard. It didn't matter how much I screamed and cried and beat on the damn door. She'd throw me out the back door, lock the door, say, go play. I don't give a shit what you do. I don't give a shit where you go. Go play. I've got to clean the house.
I couldn't tell you. It's been a long time, but I couldn't tell you how many gallons of water I drank out of a water hose.
Hell.
Yeah.
There was no bottled water. The reason I'm as healthy as I am right now is because I drank water through a rubber hose with as much cancer and carcinogens as possible.
Oh man. Those were the good old days, right? You remember y'all remember that 140-degree water that would come out of that bitch?
Oh man, I was a master at putting my hand in front of it until it got cold, and I was like, okay, I can drink it now. And you do that, and then you run around until you smell like 6 wet dogs. And by the end of the day, you and your friends are sitting on that humming ass transformer in the neighborhood that everybody sat on, and you're probably getting cancer from all the electricity coursing through your body as well.
Well, see,
enough radiation to make cows grow extra sets of udders, but.
Well, see now I happen to have a job where I just get to stand in front of those homing ass electrical boxes now. So.
Yeah, I get to walk up to them and open them up sometimes. So,
I get to run the conduit in them. So, we're all getting ball cancer.
That's right.
Except old Killer Kelly over here. She doesn't get ball cancer.
Nope.
She's immune.
Oh, okay.
No ball cancer for me.
She said no ball cancer for her.
But your ball cancer will affect her eventually.
Oh,
so,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
But it's just a different world we live in.
I'm gonna make her ovaries look like a crackhead's teeth.
Oh my God.
Dang. You just kicked me out of it completely. I'm good.
She said I am out of the loop.
Good.
Somebody's sleeping on the couch tonight.
No. Might don't sleep on the couch. I'll just roll
keep
over
those
and not
balls
talk
away
to her.
from me.
Great.
No, it's a different society, different world, and it's become everybody's suspect nowadays. I don't know if that makes sense, but everybody is suspect because everybody feels so more individualized instead of part of a group. Everybody wants what they want when they want it, and if they don't get it, they're pissed, and they're going to write a strongly worded email or a bad Yelp review.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're going to get a $25 Amazon Prime gift card. It's the pacification, pussification of a nation. It's a sad state of affairs when all you have to do is cry about something.
Yeah.
And you get your way. When I cried as a child, I was told to shut the fuck up. You keep crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
Which meant more beatings. But yeah, you know, it was physical pain. You could beat me with a bullwhip right now, and I'd probably look at you and say, "Yeah, my mom and dad can do better. Try again, bitch."
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. It's a softening of a culture, and it will be our downfall.
Yeah. I think we've touched on that a little bit in a previous episode, that, you know, these kids that are growing up like this, you know, that have no give a shit, that have no empathy. They can't look at somebody getting their ass whooped and stand up and actually come to action, you know, because they're too busy, you know, oh man, no, my friends are gonna think this is cool, you know. We're so desensitized. And, you know, these are the kids that are growing up, that are going into politics, that are going to save lives, supposedly. You know, these are future leaders. You know, these are people that are starting companies that are you know, gonna be the next generation to take over. You know, because I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't feel like doing it. I damn sure don't.
I've got to work tomorrow, so I won't be able to.
Yeah. I got to go back to work tomorrow. I've been out of work the last couple of days. So, you know, all that good jive turkey shit.
Jive turkey.
Yeah, jive turkey, baby.
Well, and don't get me wrong, the generation of kids coming up have a lot of empathy for other people, and they are very socially aware of what's going on around them, and they are in tune with the imperfections in the system, almost to their downfall of that's all they focus on. They don't focus on the positive aspects of the system. Like, you know, I don't touch on it much, but Trump's a very controversial, you know, figure.
Hey, I'm down, man. Let's talk about Trump.
He's the he's the poster child for a generation's focal point of hate. You know, the young generation hates everything that he says and stands for, whether he's making a decent point or not. Yeah. And once you stop listening to the subject and the actual meat of what someone is saying, and you only hate that person and just hear it as white noise, you are just as bad as what you claim to be against.
Exactly.
And the discourse has fallen away. The conversations are not being had. The expression of ideas are not being fostered. Creativity is not being fostered. And part of that's due to the public education system defunding all the arts and sciences and electives and things like that. They only want to teach people how to read, write, and do fucking math problems.
Fuck, they don't even hardly want to teach you how to write anymore.
They don't teach you how to write anymore.
They don't teach you how to write cursive, and they teach you basic sentence structure, but they don't teach you actual, like, how to express yourself. They don't create critical thinkers. I had to create critical thinking skills on my own, because even when I was a young child going to school, it was about test scores. Even then, it was the beginning of the end. And I, over the course of my childhood and early adulthood, had to basically use my own intelligence to create critical thinking skills, to question my own thoughts, not to just say that my thoughts are what are right and everybody else can go fuck themselves. You know,
Which
and
is
that's
what
that's
kids
what
do
it,
nowadays. Yeah.
that is exactly, because they're exposed to a lot of adult situations. They're playing these online video games, and some 45-year-old is telling them, you know, all kind of crazy shit and using adult language. And all a 12-year-old can come back and say is, yeah, well, I fucked your mom last night. You know, it's a ridiculous state of affairs. It's you're bringing a water gun to a fucking, you know, a flamethrower contest.
Well,
So you're not gonna win.
I mean, you know, like speaking about, like, you brought up Trump. You know, my son, he hates Trump for like no reason. Like, I mean, he's what, 12?
Yeah.
He's 12, and he has like no clue about anything in politics. He's just like,
But he hates Trump.
I hate Trump. Trump's stupid. He wears a toupee. He's stupid. You know, I mean, it's like, I'm like, dude, like, I mean, I don't agree with everything the dude says or does, but I mean, he has been at least, you know, a proactive president for the most part. I mean, he's done shit that no world leaders have done in years. So, I mean,
to say the least, he is definitely not stagnant.
no, not a bit. There's not a dull moment. He won't stay off Twitter long enough for that shit.
No, I wish somebody would take his fucking phone though.
Well, let's get back to this education thing. You actually touched on the education on the newest Barefoot
Monster Minute.
Yeah. So, my bad.
No, you good?
Kelly's looking at me like, what the fuck, Mike? Hey, look, we're doing this shit live, okay? So, y'all give me a break. Anyway, so like, I don't know, like, on the Monster Minute, you were talking about education versus experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say for one, there are definitely days that I'm like, fuck, I should have went to college.
Myself as well.
Yeah.
But I would not trade the experiences I have had through my many jobs, or just my experience in life since I graduated high school. And like I said in there, not to pat myself on the back or anything, but I graduated with honors, and I probably could have found my way into some sort of higher educational setting. But I chose to go straight to work, 60 hours a week, 6 days a week, bam, doing it, making a paycheck, forging my way in this world. And I have made many, many mistakes along the way in the 22 plus years I've been in the workforce. But I would not trade any part of my life for a college degree at this point, because it made me who I am today.
Yeah.
It made me the free thinker. It made me the critical thinker. It made me the sympathetic and empathetic person that I am, due in large part to my failures way more than my success. Being given a cookie every time you get a fucking answer right is no way to live your life.
Yeah. And I mean, for the most part, I mean, college is really not too much different than high school at this point. I mean, it's pretty much about test scores. It's, you know, the
only difference is they don't give a fuck whether you show up or not, because they already got your money.
Exactly. So, I mean, I've never went to college, you know,
it's an excuse for an elitist class of people, the majority of, in my opinion, to go somewhere to get away from their parents' ruling, you know, authoritarian regime, and get fucked up and, you know, do drugs and party and do all the shit that they were probably doing in high school without adult supervision.
Oh yeah.
And these universities, these boards of directors, these alumni, these, you know, predatorial people in power in these situations prey on that fact. It's a smoke and mirror show. It's a, all right, you know, you got your degree, but
We didn't teach you anything.
Nobody's gonna hire you to make fucking pottery. Nobody's gonna hire you for your fucking liberal arts degree.
Yeah.
What are you really gonna do with that sports medicine degree besides be a fucking high school gym teacher, you asshole?
Yeah,
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Exactly. Making what, 52 a year, maybe?
In a good state.
Yeah. So I mean, shit. I don't know. I mean, I'm getting pretty wore out on my job. I'm thankful I have my job, but man, it's fucking rough. But
dude,
I mean,
physical labor is a lost art in a sense. I mean, you and I both know that the jobs that we have worked together are physically demanding, physically grueling, and Americans don't want to do that type of work anymore. It's lost on an entire generation. I was brought up with the idea of you work hard, you find something you like doing. It may not be your most favorite thing in the world, but you work, you make your money, and then you fucking have hobbies.
well,
You do shit that you don't get paid for, and you enjoy those, and you find the small victories in life.
like the Murder Mike show.
The Murder Mike Show, that's right. Hopefully it won't be a hobby for too long.
This is the most expensive hobby I've ever had. Trust me, Kelly's having to pay my half of the bills.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's the truth. He's telling y'all the truth.
No bullshit. I give you half of my paycheck like every week.
That's a win.
No, I mean,
Well,
for real though. I mean, it's you have to work your ass off. You know, I mean, granted, you know, you can go to college for some bullshit degree and, you know, get an office job, sit in a cubicle, you know, data designing or, you know, doing something. And I mean, sure, you might enjoy being on the computer all day or, you know, not having to be in 100-degree weather, you know, which I'm sure anybody would rather not do. But I mean, at the same time, you know, I think it goes back to a class of people, you know, like
Right, how they were raised.
I was always raised to be, you know, to be a hard worker, and that, you know, I was always told that, you know, I was always beaten into my head that, you know, real men work hard and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, real men sweat. You know what I'm saying? So it really wasn't too much of an option for me to like, well, I don't want to sweat. I want to be a software designer. No.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
You just tell,
It was like,
did you just tell me you were gay?
it was like shut the fuck up and go mow the grass.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No son of mine's gonna be gay. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's like, dude,
Look at me now, Dad.
Yeah, the world's changing. You know, it's that older generation mentality, man.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents came from. Their parents were the Depression era children. They grew up where, you know, bread may have only cost 10 cents, but the whole family as a whole only had 2 pennies.
Yeah.
You know,
it took a month to make 10 cents.
Yeah, they had to grow and they had to raise animals to have meat on the table. So my grandparents grew up not having anything. So working hard was the only thing they had.
Exactly.
Even as children. So they raised their children in a manner of work your ass off and you'll get somewhere. It will pay off in the future. And then, you know, World War II ended, the Korean War ended, the civil rights movement came through in the 60s and early 70s.
Yeah.
The equal rights for women came through in the 70s as far as, you know, feminism movement. And then, you know, Reaganomics took over and it was like, capitalize on every possible corporate angle you can and fuck the little man.
Yeah.
And everything that was taught to those 2 generations was still being passed on to the children of my age, and the hard work ethic. But it was a changing of the guard at the time in a manner of, you know, you can work hard, but the world's changing, the landscape is changing, computers are taking over, And if you don't navigate your way through this technology, you're going to be left behind, and you're just going to be a shadow of civilization.
Exactly.
You will be the worst of the worst, and we have no trouble leaving you the fuck behind.
Exactly.
So I was taught to work hard, push for what I want, learn everything I can, but at the same time, the world was moving at such a more rapid pace than what people could keep up with. That the rich of the rich, the elite people, were able to foster and further their children a lot easier than the people that were middle or lower middle or even impoverished. And it's not even racism that's the problem in this country like the media portrays. It's classism. It's once you're up at the top, it's a whole lot easier to look down on people.
Yeah. Well, I wish I was 1%, because I'd be an asshole.
You're an asshole anyway, Mike.
Damn straight.
Oh man.
You don't need to have money to be an asshole.
Oh no. You give me 1%er money. Oh man. I feel bad for a lot of people.
If
I don't like you, I'll just buy your house and then burn it the fuck down.
All I've ever wanted is to be able to provide for myself and my family and give them a little bit of what I didn't have. It hasn't always worked out. Sometimes it has. Sometimes I've been flush and sometimes I've been busted.
Yeah.
It's like a hand of poker. You never know from day to day in my life which one you're gonna get dealt. And I try to look at my cards from day to day, and I try to play my best hand.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. It's crazy what this world's really coming to, man. I mean, I think the mindset now is like, sure, you can work hard, but you don't have to.
No, you don't.
There's like so many people at my job that actually they pursue and they get a manual labor hard construction job, and then like they can barely do the job because they've never had any other one.
They're soft.
They're 18 years old and they're getting hired right out of high school. They have no clue, barely even can dig with a shovel.
Right, they've never been shown anything physical.
Yeah.
It's you're not gonna get any muscle tone sitting on a fucking couch cushion.
Exactly.
You're gonna become the consistency of that couch cushion while you're playing Xbox One and PlayStation 4. You're only gonna be doughy in the middle if all you've ever done is sit on a fucking couch and use your thumbs. I mean, if these motherfuckers could just do anything with their thumbs, goddamn look out, watch out, the world will be taken over.
Hell yeah.
But to use the rest of their fucking hand for anything other than jerking off, no, they can't do it. They can't fucking do it.
Ew, man. I don't want to think about 18-year-old dudes jerking off. What about you, Kelly?
Please.
Does that interest you at all?
Not today.
It's not that I'm thinking about it, but goddamn it, Pornhub and all those other sites wouldn't exist if these lonely ass fucktards weren't doing it on a consistent basis.
Well, I mean, what they need to do is just do what I did. Just go ahead and go through all the videos real fast, and then then it's all boring. It's all boring after that. Just like all 3,428 pages of it. Just go ahead and just knock them all out.
That's a very, very specific number, Mike.
Off the top of my head, man. I don't beat off that much. What's that look for, Kelly?
I don't know. You have really strong hand muscles.
I do have really strong hand muscles, man. Oh yeah, my grip muscle right there in between my thumb is like, oh man, I can flex that bitch like a bicep.
Oh my god.
No, you know what? Like when you mentioned these 18, god damn it. Oh, she's over here cracking me up, man. No, when you mentioned the 18-year-olds being soft, you know what that reminded me of? God damn, what is it? Like the Progressive or Geico commercial or something? When he's on the phone with his dad, and they're broke down.
Can't change the tire.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, do you have the lug wrench? And his friend's like, is this a lug wrench?
Maybe. Like, maybe, bro.
Yeah, I think so. I don't.
In a straight, like stereotypical stoner voice too.
Yeah, bro.
Maybe. Yeah. Fuck him.
He seems like an Xbox fanatic.
Yeah, man. I don't get it.
I'm starting to get a little doughy in the middle too, man, because CS:GO happens to be like my bread and butter. Fucking like, goddamn, you give me a cigarette and an ice house, and you see what I did there? There's a sponsor plug. But
you're trying to get them to sponsor like crazy.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. They're gonna pay for half of the show, and then I'll get free beer. So,
what you'll get is cirrhosis of the liver.
Damn straight.
Well, then maybe there'll be good enough sponsors to help pay for the hospital.
Oh no, they said fuck you after you get
they'll be
sick.
They'll be like, no, sorry, Murder Mike show's canceled, and you're too much of a liability now.
No, they'll just find another guy named Mike to take your place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll just buy the rights.
That's cool. They can buy me out.
Hell yeah. Hey man, it ain't selling out, man. It's buying in.
That's right.
Oh man. See, there's another plug, man. See, we gotta have Five Finger Death Punch on the show one day.
Oh man.
Oh, guess what? We got a couple of minutes. We got a couple of minutes before we wrap this up. So my birthday is November 5th. I'll be 325 years old. And it just so happens that right up the street in Raleigh, North Carolina, Slayer is playing on the 3rd. So anybody in North Carolina, don't buy my tickets, but because I haven't bought them yet. But Slayer, Primus, and Ministry are playing at the PNC Arena November 3rd. So,
fucking Primus.
Oh man, I fucking love Primus, dude. I love Primus.
Favorite Primus song?
What?
What's your favorite Primus song?
I don't fucking know. I like it all. I know.
Right.
What is it that I don't know the names of them. See, man, you put me on the spot. Damn, Walt.
Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
I love that fucking song. I like the video more than anything. I think I love the video more than anything. That video is so cool, man. It's like little toy cowboys, and you know.
And there's nothing like Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
What is it? My Name is Mud.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that shit. You know, the first time I actually got turned on to Primus was a movie called Brain Scan with Edward Furlong in it.
Oh wow.
And I'd never heard of Primus before then. And like this, you know, if you've ever seen the movie, like this demon looking dude, like he jumps up at the TV and like he's jumping around on the bed and like he's ripping shelves off the wall and just going crazy. And it's My Name is Mud playing in the background. And I mean, he's just going ape shit. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to go get some Primus and I want to tear my room apart. Like that's what I want to do in my life. But and Ministry, man, god damn, I love Ministry. Just One Fix is like my shit, and Jesus Built My Hot Rod.
Nice.
Oh, man, I'm gonna
Well,
sing
good
that
deal,
shit
man.
on top of my lungs. But
Good deal.
but yeah, man. So you got any words to the wise, man? We got about 10 minutes.
Words to the wise about parenting?
About anything, man. Let's hear some. What do you got any ideas for some new Monster Minutes?
I got some things in the works, man. I don't want to give too much away before I actually record them and they drop. I want to let everybody just hear them as they come out. It's kind of, you know, it's organic as far as my thought process goes. I kind of just pick 3 or 4 subjects throughout the week and I just mull them over and kind of just you know, let it happen the way it's supposed to happen. I'm trying to get better content and give the people what they want to hear. I hope they enjoy the last few. I'm only trying to get better.
They've definitely been pretty good, man. They've been really good. I know I have feelers everywhere on every possible platform that I can even try to get the show on. Anywhere that will allow comments. I'm trying to get subject matter, content, topic suggestions, and what the fans want to hear.
Exactly. That's a good idea.
You definitely you send it to us, and we will definitely do everything we can to tear that shit apart. So we will dissect
it's an exploration.
Huh?
It's an exploration, man. We're just exploring thoughts on any given subject, and any subject is welcome. There's nothing taboo. There's nothing off limits that we won't talk about. I mean, give it to us. We'll bring the pain.
I mean, who knows? Maybe next week I'll convert to Scientology and we'll talk about that.
We can't be friends anymore.
I can't. I'm with you, Walt.
Damn. Damn. I thought it was going so good too.
No, not good at all.
Nah, man. I can't let you be an idiot.
Yeah, me
right?
either.
Come on, man.
I mean, if you join a fake ass religion that Tom Cruise is like one of the highest ranking members of, you and I cannot fucking be friends.
Actually,
End of story.
you know what's funny is I actually just by happenstance I just ran across it today. That's why I brought it up. I actually saw the Jason shit. What's his name? Jason. My name is Earl.
Jason Lee.
Yeah, Jason Lee. I actually found out that he was part of this Church of Scientology, and it actually ruined 3 marriages.
Well, I hope those women have better lives now.
Me too.
So his
makes me think less of him.
His newest wife, when they got married, he actually retired from acting. He's actually even turned down the new Jay and Silent Bob movie. He didn't want to be in it. And pretty much now he's just pursuing hobbies, and he's pretty much like not religious at all, from what I understand. So he's doing like photography. He opened up a skate shop, things like that. So like he completely got away from Scientology and Hollywood and all that glitz and glamour bullshit and kind of pursued his own thing. So,
well, John Travolta in his rank in Scientology has the authority to commit, murder and assassinations, right?
Wow. No, I didn't. I don't really know anything about Scientology. I've actually never studied it.
I'm going to plug another podcast, and that may be sacrilege, but if you listen to Dan Cummins' Time Suck podcast,
okay,
and he has one about Scientology, it really kind of delves into the entire, from the moment it started to what's going on today and how complete and utter bullshit it is from start to finish.
Okay.
So yeah, check that out, and you'll have a whole fucking litany of laughter due to what he says, and you'll shake your head the entire episode. But yeah, that's a podcast I listen to on a pretty regular basis, and it's a good one. But he delves into it's called Time Suck because he takes the time to just go into all the information about something, and he doesn't include it all, of course. He kind of condenses it down, but that is one of my favorites, is when he goes off about Scientology.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out. I actually haven't heard about that yet. But so we are going to be dropping some new artwork tonight. It is finished.
Right on.
It only took like a week and a half for everybody to, get their pictures finished. But
well, I had to go to Glamour Shots. That's an old '90s reference.
Oh yeah, there we go. Hell yeah. Now I don't want to release too much until they actually see it, but were those leather studded pants, were they uncomfortable?
Well, I baby powdered, so it made it manageable.
Okay.
There's not as much chafing.
That's what I used to do in my man vest.
Oh my God.
Kelly's sitting over here, hasn't said shit in like 20 minutes.
I'm listening. I'm just listening.
She's listening to the bullshit that falls out of our faces.
Oh man, hey, it's a defecation nation, man.
That's right.
So that's what we should rename the podcast to right there.
Defecation Nation. Nah, the Murder Mike Show.
It's got a nice ring to it, right? It does have a nice ring to it, I guess.
We can add another segment called Defecation Nation and take 5 minutes just to shit on something that's going on in the world.
Hell yeah. Like shit on this shit, bitches. And these
Well, it's like I always
turkeys.
say. It's like I always say, man. Just because you're the top turd on the pile doesn't mean you're the shit.
Yeah. That's a good one right there, man. I like that. Well, anyway, blah. Shit. It's late, man. I'm tired. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's about the end of the show. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Please go to iTunes. Leave us some reviews. We've been doing this for over a month now, and we literally have 1 review on iTunes. So,
And if I'm not mistaken, it's a shitty one, right?
well, we had a conversation. I think he posted like on our 3rd episode, and he said from now on he's gonna hate listen because we suck so bad. So he's gonna hate listen to everything that we do. So,
Well,
I guess positive, negative. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it, but. I commented back and said, "Hey man, at least you're listening. We appreciate the support."
That's right. I hope his coffee's always too hot when he gets it and always too cold when he remembers to drink it.
Yeah.
Hope he stumps his fucking toe on the bed frame every night.
That's right. He fucking steps into a room full of Legos barefooted. Fuck him.
That's
No, man, we can't be like that with all the haters, man. Haters.
Nah, man, I heart haters.
Haters gonna hate, no.
Yeah, I know, man. I heart haters. It's all good.
Oh, I'm like 100% hater, man. I hate every fucking body.
Oh my god.
I don't even like y'all half the time.
That's a lie.
No, I love y'all. Y'all are great.
He don't have no choice but to love me.
It's always a pleasure, man. Always
Definitely.
a pleasure.
Y'all, this has been Murder Mike Show. Like, subscribe, comment, leave some damn reviews somewhere. We have recently tried to get on iHeartRadio and Alexa/TuneIn. So hopefully we'll hear back from them soon. And y'all keep rocking it, man. Y'all definitely listen to the Monster Minute on Mondays and Wednesdays. Later.